EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Acrisure Stadium on the north shore of the Steel City, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tonight, we're on to Week 2 in the NFL season as we've got a good one here between the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers. First game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in Week 2. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Well, this defense for the Browns, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright. And
a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Back to throw, Pickett. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Now a hit and a loose football. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us the ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punt's coming in, I have a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not, but sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one, though, you catch the ball and put it away.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That 2nd down play nets a -4.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Boswell's kick is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Watson and the Browns now with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. The 20. And all the way in, touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Browns are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Losers in the season opener on Sunday. They get that quick turnaround 96 hours later. Here we go. They're back at it. And I've got to think, especially early in the year, that's a good thing for these guys, is it not?
It absolutely is. And we've seen it many times demonstrated over the years. Teams have a rough opening game, have to play the Thursday game. That quick turnaround allows them to go ahead and throw the other game out, focus on the new one, and typically they play much better in game two. So I would agree with you totally on that.
2 yards, good enough for a first. The Steelers had 0-1 on the year following the loss in the opener, and they were given a gift of 2 straight home games to start the campaign, dropped one of them already. You have to figure a split of these two probably imperative.
And they did talk about that with us prior to the game, about how important.
Pickett in trouble, and down he goes. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. Well, last game he had 2 sacks, got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
After the sack on first down, Pickett, a quick throw, knocked away, and incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked off by Martin Emerson. And the Browns are going to take possession of the football. Well, CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Amari Cooper. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by York is up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend, but you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
Harris running straight ahead. And he'll fight forward on the straight-ahead running for just a couple of yards. 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. Only able to gain a couple there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. And he'll get credit for putting him inside the 20 as the fair catch is made right at about the 19-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. Watson on 1st down. That's out to Chubb, complete. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll have a 2nd and 1 forthcoming.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
84 yards rushing for him now as he has gotten the night off to a hot start. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Just a gain of a couple there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down. Now Chubb running right. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Watson to Njoku there for the Cleveland first.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter